Hi there, it's Mike from Replica Airguns, and this is going to be a little bit of a different video. This is a video about a pneumatic multi-pump target pistol. Now it's not exactly a replica, but it's called a Webley Alecto. And interestingly enough, it's actually made by Zeraki, and it's called the HP01. So if you go to my website, I'll have some links there for you to check out where it actually originates from. And I guess it's been rebranded for Webley. So you can see here on the case, it has the Webley branding. Now, let's take a look inside. It does come with the case. Inside, of course, you get your manual. Turn that the right way around. And what I like is it also comes with this target. It's a sample target showing you the test results. And there's a lot of information on here about different, temperatures and humidity, all kinds of stuff that I probably really, for me personally, doesn't make much of a difference. But what I do like is this nice little sample here showing me, and I imagine they probably had this on some sort of a rest because that's really accurate. And I'll show you the results that I got, which were really quite good because this is a true target pistol. And of course you get the Webley Alecto. Now there's a few different cutouts here for different things. So this would be if you want to put, say, some sort of laser on here. They've cut it out for you. Doesn't come with the pellets, but they put a nice little place here for you to put pellets. Comes with the cleaning rod. Comes with this bottle of oil, not really full, but there's some oil there, and this is for adjusting the actual hand grip here. There's some adjustments on the hand grip. Let's move the case out of the way. Now I wanted to show you something really quickly. It isn't a replica, but you can really see a similarity here in these two guns, especially like if you look at the safety, very similar. The basic styling of the gun, very similar. So it is styled after a Desert Eagle, I have to say. Now, as I mentioned, this is a multi-pump pneumatic target pistol. So basically is a PCP compressed air gun. And the factory specifications state that you can pump it up to 3 times, and you get different power levels each time you pump it. So we'll get a bit more into that later. I just want to quickly show you how to open it. So what's neat is this area here that would normally be the safety is actually on both sides. Hopefully you can see this. You can pull them up independently, but to open it you need to pull both sides up, and then you can get inside. And you can see here it's beautiful inside. It's all polished metal, and this is the piston. So I'm just going to do one pump for you. So you pump it back and then in, and you can do this up to 3 times, although many people, and I'll get into that more, have modded this to pump it more than the 3 times, and I'll talk a bit more about that. You'll notice here your safety, and I'll probably mention that some more later, but it's right here. You can feel it. You know that the safety's there. You flick it forward, and then all you do, of course, there's no pellets in here, I've checked it, and the trigger is beautiful. I'll get more into that later, but it's a beautiful trigger. Let's just do a quick little walk around. There's not really a lot to it. This is actually not the safety. This is how you would open the gun up to pump it. You have your adjustable grips. Now this is a right-handed molded grip, so I don't know if it comes in left-handed, to be totally honest, but it really feels nice. You can adjust this bottom piece and move it around a bit to fit your hand. Now this gun is really accurate. I'll just show you a sample target quickly. You can see here now I didn't sight it in at all. I just shot from 20 feet out, freestanding, no rests whatsoever. And so there was a bit of time between shots. I had to pump it, and I did 2 pumps with this test because it wasn't about velocity, it was more about accuracy. And I got about just over an inch group here. Now that's really good for freestanding shooting. If I had a rest or I had something to stabilize my shooting with, then I'm sure I could have got this even tighter. Another thing about this gun is because it's not like a spring system, it's very recoil free, so there's little to no recoil. Now I'll get a little bit more into it, but when you do modify this, and this particular gun, by the way, is 22 caliber, it does come in .177 and .22 caliber as well, 22 caliber. So what I found is if you do modify this gun, there's a release valve in there and you modify it, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. When you get into 3 pumps, you can actually feel some recoil because it's pushing a little bit heavier pellet with the 22 caliber, and you can feel just a little bit of a push on it. Pretty interesting. Now of course it has a rifled steel barrel, and about the safety here, we'll get a little bit more into that. It's automatic, so when you pump it, it goes to the safety mode, and then you have to release it, like that, and you can do it all with one finger. Like I said before, you can feel the safety on there when you put your finger on there, so you know right away the safety's on. Now the trigger is fully adjustable in many ways. I really haven't gotten into it because, to be honest, I really like the way it feels, and if I like it right away, why tinker around with it? But the trigger has up to 4 different types of adjustments, so if you're the kind of person that likes to really get into that, then you'll probably really like that about this gun. It also has a fully adjustable rear sight here, fully adjustable up and down, and then you also have side to side. And there's also top and bottom rails on this gun, so you could mount a laser or a flashlight on here. You could mount a red dot scope or even a scope with magnification, because this gun can shoot pretty far out. So this gun really would make a great gun for pest control. It's nice and compact. Throw a tack light on here, a red dot scope, and you're ready to go. With those types of groupings I showed you, you would easily be able to hit something at 20 to 30 feet out, just even with the open sights, and get into the sweet spot for the good kill shot. Now this is the Canadian version, so it is restricted to under 500 feet per second, and that's why I chose the 22 caliber, because when you can only shoot up to 500 factory settings, then you want as big a pellet as you can, especially if you're using it for pest control. Bigger pellets going 495 are going to do more damage than a smaller pellet going 495 feet per second. So for me, that was my choice. In the US, you can go higher obviously with this gun, and so the modification side of things that I'll tell you about may really be something you might be interested in with this gun. I might as well just get right into the modification side of things, and what I'm going to do is, in my article on my website, I'm going to have a link to a downloadable PDF on how to modify this to essentially get up to the 700 feet per second ranges with 4 pumps. So again, I'm just going to pop it open really quickly just to sort of give you an idea of what's required to modify this. But you basically pull this pin out. There's this little C-clip here. You pop that out, push this through. This whole piece comes up. You have to take out this middle pin here, and there's also another pin you take out, but it allows you to get to a little release valve. And once you get to that release valve, you can tighten it all the way clockwise. And then what happens is, instead of when you're pumping it releasing a little bit of air or pressure, then it doesn't release that pressure. Mine was actually reduced quite a bit, so the valve was letting a lot of air out. Even on my second pump, I could hear the air coming out. So I don't think I was even getting close to 500 feet per second, to be honest. I tightened her right up just to give her a try and pumped it up to 4 times, and I tell you, you could feel the kick. The gun shot really fast. It was just like instantaneously getting to about 50 yards out. There was little to no delay, so I know it was shooting fast. I don't have a chrony, but I know this gun was shooting really hard. If you live in the States, then go ahead and do that. Now if you live in Canada, you're going to want to play with this valve and get it right up to just under your 500 feet per second, because if you go over it in Canada, this gun, because it's a pistol, will become a restricted firearm, which means you can't even put it in your car and take it to your friends, okay? You have to shoot it at the range. You have to lock it up with trigger locks, all of the same stuff you got to do with a real 9mm or, whatever 40 cal gun pistol that you have. And technically, you'd also need to have a restricted firearms license. So be aware of that. Now I just want to give you an idea of what you get for feet per second with this with each pump. I'm giving you the specifications for the 177 caliber because that's what's posted on Zeraki's website. And so with one pump, you would get 394 feet per second. With 2 pumps, you would get 524 feet per second. With 3 pumps, you would get 623 feet per second. And even though it's not recommended, with 4 pumps, I sort of looked at the curve, the angle of how things are dropping off with each pump, and you'd get probably just under 700 feet per second. So not too bad in a 177 caliber. In a 22, of course, depending on the grain of your pellets, you're going to get a little bit less feet per second. But still, awesome gun. Again, great gun for pest control, great gun for target shooting, very accurate. A really nice gun to hold and shoot. You can accessorize this gun in many ways. We are selling it on our Replica Airgun store, so go to the website replicaairguns.com. Check out our Buy Guns link to get into the store, and you'll see it in there in the pistol section. So if you're into this type of pistol, definitely pick one up. I recommend it. I'm going to keep this one for myself. I'm going to put a red dot on it, maybe a tack light, who knows. But I'm probably going to use this for pest control around the house. Thanks again for watching one of my Replica Airgun videos. Make sure to check out my YouTube channel and website and look for more videos on some great guns. We'll talk to you later.